Hello, my Bill for Thousand Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. Now, I know I said that we would be doing the Ghost Files Alone debrief, but due to weather, electric going out, and my internet being teetotal jank, I don't know if I would be able to get through it, let alone get it edited, uploaded, and everything else, because it is a longer video. So we are going to go with a Are You Scared this time, and hopefully the weather and internet, and hopefully the weather has figured out what the hell it's doing. The internet isn't running like shit, and my power stays on for more than like 30 minutes at a time. So fingers crossed. But seeing that all that is taking place right now, I really didn't want to record it, get 15 minutes into it, have to redo it, get another 30 minutes into it, have to redo it. I like not watching them over and over again when I react to them, because then the reaction's not as genuine. You know what I mean? So we're going to do a Are You Scared today? I know, I do apologize, I promise. We are going to get to the debrief, and then we're going to move on to puppet history. So I promise, we're getting there. Mother Nature, weather, internet, it's all against us. But we'll get there. Alright. Now, like I was saying, we're not doing Ghost Files debrief, but we are going to be doing the Are You Scared? And this one is titled, Are You Scared of the Man in the Crowd? Depends on if he's wearing a police badge or not. Alright, I'm excited to get in today's video. Hopefully you guys are excited as I am. If you are, please go ahead, turn the lights down low, put on something comfy, cup of something special. Let's get creeped the hell out.
This video contains content that some might find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
You know, I don't think I've ever really found
Crisp
many
autumn
of these
air,
disturbing.
Cotton candy, hot cider.
But I get it.
The arm of a gorgeous date to lean into. It's almost impossible to believe in moments like these that something dark could be just under the surface. Tonight, our narrator will come face to face with that cool reality. I'm Ryan Bergara, and this is Are You Scared? A show where I tell my friend Shane Madej the internet's scariest stories. So lock your doors, turn off the lights, and let's see if we can make it till the end of the night. Someone in the crowd.
Somebody's watching me.
I haven't been dating this guy long, but he's on his way to pick me up for some mystery date.
Ooh.
10 minutes before he said he'd be
Mystery
here,
date.
he rings my apartment. Early. Perfect.
Rude.
I don't know, it's not rude, it's just you're kind of showing your hand a little bit. You want to play it cool. You don't want to show up to a date super early. You look eager.
45 minutes late. You pull into the driveway, you honk your horn.
Don't even get out.
No.
Mari's dad had a guy come pick up Mari for a date, didn't get out of the car, honk the horn, and her dad was like, you're not going on that date.
Of course.
Don't get out there.
No, rude.
What's comfortably late for you?
3.5 minutes late. It lets him know, like, I'm basically on time.
Yeah, but I'm still busy.
Oh, you think you're the most important thing in the world?
I got
3.5 minutes?
a lot of
That is
I had to stop at the Citgo.
I buzz him up. He knocks lightly on the door before letting himself in. No hesitation to hear my response. And suddenly, he's standing behind me, holding a bouquet of white roses and small blue flowers. He hugs me from behind as I finish touching up my hair. You look gorgeous, he whispers, and I smile.
Aww.
His cologne smells like cedar maybe, or amber. He follows me out into the kitchen and I trim the flower stems as a vase fills in the sink. We go over our plan for the night. Italian at the new place on 4th Street, and when we're done with that, we'll head to our second destination, he says. You're still not gonna tell me where we're going, I say, my tone jokingly exasperated. Nope, he grins. I roll my eyes. Well, is this outfit going to be okay for this mystery date? He looks me up and down before taking my hand. I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Red flags all around. This guy's
What, because he brought flowers?
I don't
Because
like
he's a
this
nice
man.
guy?
Well, he enters without waiting for a response.
Yeah.
He goes, And then he's behind her with a bouquet
That
of flowers.
is a little creepy.
Wait, that's true. Suddenly he's standing behind me holding a bouquet.
The most,
Is he fucking Nightcrawler? How the fuck did he do that?
Anytime anyone, like, unless you're well acquainted with someone, for someone to come
It's
up
just like
behind you
Ghost, where
with some like,
Patrick
that's,
Swayze's
like,
just gonna come up behind you and start like helping
is
you
kinda
learn
creepy.
pottery.
Oh, I was thinking more like, but like actually like an X-Man. Like he was there just like behind her, and now now he's like behind her hugging. Like Nightcrawler would be like a tender lover because he could
well, he's got the
teleport
tail, too.
and he could teleport all over.
and he's covered in fur.
After
You know it
dinner,
has to be
we take
solved.
the highway out of the city. I pester him with questions,
The
but he won't
original
even
furry.
give me a clue as to where we're going. We take an exit to the west, down a road that threads through the hills for a while, then cuts into the cover of dense woods. Our headlights illuminate the trunks of the trees in front of us. Birch stands like sun-bleached bones spread as far as I can see. An odd peace washes over me. I can't tell if it's the isolated road, the quiet static of the car radio going in and out, or something more. As we drive farther down the road, the radio goes out completely. My date smiles at me. Getting excited? Sorta, he questions, then makes the connection. You're not getting nervous, are you? I smile, but don't answer. There's nothing to be nervous about, he says, trying to reassure me. It doesn't work.
The story doesn't have to go too many other places because I'm scared.
Well, he's probably taking her to the woods, remote, a place where people can't hear her screams, or at least tell or discern
Make
where
her
the
squeal like
screams
a
are
pig.
coming
That's
from.
awful.
It would be funny if it
watched
did seem
Deliverance
very
before the
scary,
steak.
and then at the end he was like, "We're going camping with my grandma."
Oh,
you
I
know?
think she's gonna kill him.
Oh,
That's what I think.
that'd be good.
I roll down the window and start
would
to
be
notice a
interesting. That'd be
noise
different.
in the distance, growing
I would not
louder.
expect that. Can
It's a
we make
mixture
that
of
happen?
music and crowd.
Even if it don't?
A tangerine glow begins to peek out from between the leaves and branches, meeting the pale yellow of our headlights. Suddenly, the trees thin, and I gasp. We enter a small town in a burst of life and light. The main street is blocked, and instead of traffic, a carnival glows in the early evening. String lights crisscross street lights and storefronts, the latter filled with elaborate displays. A live band strums away somewhere out of sight. Smiling strangers mill about everywhere, the brisk September air not stopping what seems like the whole town from showing up.
I love a little carnival.
Even if it's
I
in the
do
remote
too,
woods with a town that's
Not one that's
obviously
too
been there
big,
and
but I
wants to
like
be
a.
hidden.
I like
Oh,
a
do you
good
think this is a magic town?
It seems like a magic
medium-sized
town. The radio's
carnival.
not working.
Got
It
your
sounds a lot
elephants
like
and
in my
your
hometown of
animals,
Schaumburg, Illinois, when we
a
have
few fried
Septemberfest.
food.
Sure, yes.
Some
I'm sure
popcorn
that's exactly.
and
some
rides
games.
and chicken. I think Smash Mouth played once.
Oh, wow.
Deep fried
Smash
butter.
Mouth? How'd you book them?
It was sort of in their, they're
In
not
decline.
doing great. They didn't remember most of the words
To All-Star?
to the song.
I'll tell you why I like fairs and stuff like that. Man, corn dogs. Like, you can get corn dogs all you want from Walmart. You can make your own, but they're not the fucking same, bro. I love a good old corn dog. I don't know why. And now, like, down here at the fairgrounds, you can get a foot-long hot dog, and they batter it up and deep fry it. Like, it's a foot-long corn dog, and it is so good. Get you one of those and some cheese tots, and you're set for the day, bro. You set for the day.
Even that one, I think, was a little rough, but
good shit.
they were there.
We find a parking spot and get out of the car. The chill of the night filling my lungs
Makes me miss
along
eating
with the
meat.
scent of cinnamon, apples, smoking meats, and decaying foliage. I take a few steps, drawn to the bustle of the town. This is beautiful, I say breathlessly. I'm so glad you like it, he chuckles. I read about this online and thought of you. You mentioned on our first date you'd like to someday live in a small town. He's right. I did say that. I didn't think he'd heard, but he had.
Bro.
I smile and grab.
I've done so many reactions on fucked up little towns that I never want to live in a little town ever. I used to want to. Where everyone knows everyone. But no, they're all murderers. They're all murderers.
Grab his hand as we walk into the town. Looming at the far end of Main Street stands a Ferris wheel. We make our way there first, and from the top, I can see the whole town. I survey the crowd, letting my eyes wander from face to face until they lock onto one particular man. a bit taller than most of the rest of the crowd, wearing a long blue coat. As the wheel turns, bringing us back towards the ground, I realize the stranger is looking back. He's locked eyes with me and isn't looking away.
This is actually a bit of a left turn here. I didn't even consider that maybe he's a good guy and she's a good gal, and then some other outside force will kill them.
Is luring them.
Or just like a dude who wants to kill them.
It's like an evil brigadoon.
The hair on my arm stands up, and an uncomfortable tickle drips down my spine. I look away, then back. He's still there, still staring. Suddenly, my date laughs, and I break my gaze. He points to a boy with a cotton candy, which he is feeding to a dog when the owner looks away. I chuckle, then look back out over the town. The stranger in the blue coat is nowhere to be found.
How long is too long for a stranger to stare at you? Before you're alarmed. Like, let's say you're at Whole Foods, you're looking around, you catch somebody that may be looking at you. How long is it before you're like, what the hell's going on?
Let me pretend we're strangers. We're at Barnes & Noble.
I have a book, but I'm not reading it.
I'm getting a little chai latte. Okay. It's about 3/4 of a second.
How about this? Do it again.
That worked. The immediate look away.
Makes it feel like.
Yeah.
Now, you know this about me. I zone out.
Yeah,
And when I zone out, I'll
stare?
just stare straight ahead. And sometimes I've come to and I've been just staring at a person. Like, it
I've
happened to
done
me
that.
recently on
I do
vacation.
that all the time.
I don't remember what I was thinking about.
It
And when
makes
I came
people
to,
angry.
There was just a guy eating eggs, and he was looking directly at me with this confused look at his face. And I was just like,
Very scary.
sorry.
Once off the
Yeah,
ride,
I do
we
the
wander
same
back
thing.
and forth down the street.
It's very awkward because I do like I just, and then next thing you know, there's like a dude walking up to me like, you got fucking staring problems. Like, oh no, sorry, I have ADHD and I just zone out sometimes. I do apologize for any uncomfort. That's my bad. Oh man, I apologize. I just thought you was bucking up. I was like, oh no, seriously, it's my bad. It happens, man. You gotta apologize a lot.
Want cotton candy, so we find the snack booth and hop in line.
Get some cotton candy,
We
find a
order,
puppy and feed it
and
to it.
before either of us can grab a wallet, a quiet voice sounds out from just behind us. It's on me. Welcome. I turn and see the man in the blue coat. Up close, I see his eyes. A cold, steely gray. Before my date can protest, the man hands the cashier the money. He doesn't try to make more conversation, just pleasantly smiles at me. My date thanks him hesitantly, but the stranger doesn't acknowledge him in return. He just smiles at me, as if another man isn't standing there, holding my hand. We head off, arm in arm, now holding the cotton candy. I turn back once to see if the stranger is still staring, but he's gone.
Wow, this is fucked up, man. If some other dude, cucked me on my own date, we got a problem, buddy.
Yeah,
I don't care how
that
tall and
cotton
creepy
candy
you
going
are.
up your
That
ass,
cotton candy
bro.
is mine to purchase, you son
I
of a
like that
bitch.
he was like, gave him the money before my date could protest. I'm imagining being like, I'll get that. And the date being like,
I was gonna do that. It was me. I had the flowers. I had it all planned out. Fuck.
We stroll through the midway.
My candy, bitch.
After a while, our unease from the stranger fades, and we start to enjoy the sights. After feeding some animals at a makeshift petting zoo, my date asks
cotton
me
candy?
if I'm thirsty. How about I grab us a couple glasses of rosé? It sounds nice. Something to wash away the last
Where are you
vestiges
at?
of
Where they be
unease.
having rosé?
He heads off towards a cart selling wine as I take some pictures. I walk a little, pivoting my camera to capture new light and angles. I
the only
look
fair-
down to check
the
a
only
photo,
drinks you can
but
get at
once
the fairs
again,
I go
I'm
to is
taken
like a
in
beer.
by a pair of gray eyes. I raise my head to look at the
fine
spot
with
I
it.
just
Just
photographed.
saying.
I see a head of dark hair
I'd still
emerging
like to have
from the
some
collar
rosé,
of a
though.
blue coat just in front of me. It's the stranger. I didn't notice him standing there when I took the picture, but he's there now, staring. An icy chill drips down my spine, and I instinctively glance back towards the drink cart, looking for the man I came with. I don't see him. The crowd is thin here.
Oh, no.
I should be able to spot him. I call out for
Oh,
him,
no.
turning in circles. Nothing. I grab my phone to call his cell. No answer. I walk up to the drink cart and ask the vendor if he saw my date. He said he hasn't seen anyone fitting that description tonight. I sit down on a bench to think. Maybe he forgot his wallet and ran back to the car. Maybe he's just run to the bathroom. I'm sure there's an explanation.
I was at a fair once in
dead.
Chicago with
Turned
my
into
parents.
cotton candy.
Yeah.
And I got some Harold's chicken, and it was about 110 degrees out.
I see where this is going.
And it was very spicy. They, I think, went to go get some other food there, and I was like, well, I'm just walking around having a grip. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And I had to beeline it toward, they just had like a huge bank of porta potties.
Yeah.
And I was just shitting my brains out.
Gotcha.
And sweating.
Nice.
Because I was like in a like a little hurt locker situation. I was in there for, I think, a good 25 minutes. I came out and I was wet. And they were genuinely worried. They were like, we didn't know where you were. So maybe that's what happened here. Maybe this guy's just got a really bad case of,
He's got a howler
Chicken
on
sweats.
deck.
Exactly right. He's got to release the hostages.
That's right.
Several minutes go by
Drop the
with
Matt
no
Browns off
sign
at
of
the
him.
Super Bowl.
I take a breath. I have to get somewhere where I can see. I run back to the Ferris wheel and hop on an open basket. I don't sit down but lean over the side, already scanning the crowd even though I'm barely off the ground. The basket rocks as the operator closes the door and I start to move.
The blue coat's right
Suddenly,
next to
I
it.
hear a gentle, wry, ahem. Someone had boarded the basket when the door was shut. I sigh in relief and turn to expect my date, but I'm greeted instead by the gray-eyed stranger. I open my mouth to yell, to tell the ride operator to stop, but nothing comes out. He tilts his head as he returns my silent gaze. Suddenly, this basket is very small. I scrunch myself into the corner without taking my eyes off of him. I was wondering when we'd get a moment alone. He speaks quietly, just like he had at the cotton candy booth. His gray eyes try to tell me something, but all I hear are his words. I'd hoped you'd come up here at least one more time before you left.
What if he's the boyfriend in the future?
That's not creepy
It's
at all.
possible. I don't think so. Probably more likely that this guy's just a huge creep.
I can't totally call him out at this point, though. It seems like...
That's a pretty call out. I think at this point he's crossed the line.
I think he is a creep, but I'm not sure where to file him at this point in the creep files.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because, there's some Slender Man qualities to him, but he also has those sexy, steely gray eyes.
Yeah, I mean, and also in Slender Man, if he's a part of a species, perhaps this is how they mate.
Well, Slender Man, too, though, if you see him at a carnival, you're going to be like, that's a fucking Slender Man. Everybody look out.
That's true.
Kill him. Everybody kill him right now.
You just made me realize it's probably really hard for Slender Man to date. If he wanted to find love, it's going to be a tough get for him.
It's going to be a Slender
It's easy how you have to find a slender woman.
Slender woman. Or another Slender Man.
Do I know you? I ask. I'm shaking now, balled up in the corner
How many
of the seat.
Slendermans are there? How
I
many
grasp
Slender
the
Womans are
freezing
there?
metal bars and watch as they fog up from the heat of my palms. Very funny. He smiles wryly and stretches his arm out to rest it on my shoulders. Please don't. My voice shakes as I utter the words. He pauses and looks on with a puzzled look, as if he's reading how serious I am. If you touch me, I'll scream. I try to keep my voice steady. He seems to take me seriously, and he keeps his hands to himself as we cycle back towards the ground. The whole time, I keep one eye on this stranger while the other frantically scans the crowd, searching for my date to no avail. What are you looking for? The stranger says, breaking the silence with his hushed voice. I try to ignore him, deciding I just need to wait for the wheel to take me back to the ground.
Yeah.
I wish you would relax. I took care of him.
Did he kill the boyfriend?
Oh my
It's okay.
God.
I killed him.
It's so good.
Hey, your friend, he's dead. Don't
That's
worry.
got to be top 5 in bad things to say to make someone get at ease.
My
Forever
stomach
nap.
drops like a rock. What the hell are you talking about? This time, he turns away from me. When the Ferris wheel finally comes to a stop, I bolt. The stranger's hand grasps at my sweater in an attempt to hold me back. He snags a corner, but I pull free and start to run. I have no idea where to go. I search wild through an unyielding crowd, but I see nothing. I find the alcove of a small shop a block off Main Street. As I call my date's number again, I peer into the display window. It's one of the few that holds no displays or attraction to passerby. It looks closed, and I can't even tell what kind of store it is. Doo-da-doo, doo-da-doo.
What? Ryan, no time for singing.
Ringtone nearby. That's his ringtone?
Do-da-do.
Do-da-do. It's not even a tone, it's just him singing. I was in an a cappella group in college. This is me and the
I
boys.
come up with songs like this all the time. I guess I'm kind of an artsy guy.
I stand stock still, faintly, implausibly. I can just make out my date's subdued ringtone nearby. I look up and realize the sound is squeezing out of a small window cracked above the shop's door. I grab at the handle to find that it's unlocked. I step in, and thinking of the stranger and his gray eyes, lock the door behind me. I call out my date's name. Nothing. I use my phone flashlight to look around. Apart from a wooden shelf and a metal filing cabinet, it's completely bare. Towards the back is a door, slightly ajar. I step towards it and pull it open. Immediately, I'm hit with a wall of putrid, rotten air. Somewhere in here, I can still hear my date's phone ringing. I hit a cigarette-yellowed light switch next to the door, and a single bare bulb
This
in
is
the
actually
middle of the
getting really
room
creepy.
casts the room in a weak light. There, on the ground, are his shoes. Pouring out of them is blood and thin, sinewy strands of something, leading to a soaking pile of dark clothing, on top of which sits his phone. From this pile, more cords shoot off, more blood, and then it hits me. It's my date.
No shit, Sherlock. There's his shoes and his sinew.
She's just clocking this slowly. Shoes, those are his.
Phone. There's his eyeballs and his teeth.
Yeah, that looks like his ear.
I should tell him about this.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
That's him!
I gag and try to look away, but I can't. He's been stretched, as if he'd just been pulled well past the breaking point. What I thought were cords are strands of flesh and ligament, sprawled out roughly in the shape of a body. My knees give out and I collapse onto the sticky tile. I cannot seem to move anymore or take my eyes off of this horror.
Poor guy.
After what feels like an eternity,
just wanted
I
to
finally
get
force
him
myself
some.
back to my feet and out of that awful room. As I reach the door back to the front room, I hear a quiet voice. I told you. I took care of him. The stranger's voice echoes behind me. It sounds gentle, friendly. He won't get between us anymore. Everything's going to be all right again. I look up and see gray eyes. I'm paralyzed by fear, my mouth gawking open in a soundless scream. The eyes are the stony gray of the stranger, but the rest of the face, it's my date. It's the face of the man I came here with, save for those eyes, those cruel gray eyes. You're just like her. Soon, you'll feel just like her too. Who are you? I scream. Hush, he gently whispers. You said you wouldn't scream if I didn't touch you, but now. He leans down and takes one of my hands. Immediately, I recoil. His touch burns like acid. The skin of his hand is sheer. I can see a dark fluid pulse underneath its surface. With his other hand, he takes my face, and I cry out. I feel as if I'm going to melt away under his touch. The pain on my cheek shocks me free from my paralysis, and I reach out a desperate hand to claw at those horrible eyes. He shrieks, and I dart to the far side of the room.
I love a shriek.
Yeah, like a big tall man too. He probably sounds crazy. It probably sounds like multiple people shrieking. Like if you shriek, probably what it would sound like. Put that in a library
Or
somewhere.
like on one of those spooky Halloween mixes.
Yeah,
Ryan and Shane shrieks.
it's gonna be like it's misused, perhaps.
Well, they'll be in quick succession, so it'll be like, ah! Oh!
Yeah, I can't see that being misused by the internet at all.
No.
Stop fighting.
No way, shape,
I
or
hear
form.
his voice echo
Soundboard?
and amplify impossibly off the wooden slats of the walls. It's not commanding, but rather pleading. You're hurting me. It starts to move towards me, and I don't know what to do. A few feet away, an old piece of shelf lies on the ground.
Knock the
I lunge
fuck
for
out.
it and swing it towards this stranger, this thing, catching it in the side of the head. A sharp corner of the wood rips open a gash on its face, and it hits the floor. The liquid that spills out of its face isn't blood exactly, but something darker, more viscous. The gray eyes begin to dim, but they are still fixed squarely on me. His voice is hoarse. A whisper. Why would you hurt me? I close my eyes as I stand over this thing. I take the piece of shelf I am still gripping and hit it again and again and again until those gray eyes are gone and all I can see is ochre-colored secretion. I drop the wood and it clatters on the floor.
Jesus Christ, just beating his head to a pulp. I actually do think that if someone popped out, like it was like someone trying to kill me on a Ghost Files shoot, I would be so scared and like triggered in that moment that I probably would kill them.
Yeah, if you got pushed to the point where you were attacking someone and fighting to the death,
Yes.
I think you would continue to beat them for approximately 50 minutes after.
Until you found me.
Yeah.
I open the front door and stand on the pavement for a moment, then begin to walk out of town. No one notices as I pass by. No one notices as I enter the woods. No one is around as I walk for miles, my tears never drying up and that rancid smell never leaving my nostrils. I walk for what seems like hours until my legs give way beneath me. When I wake up, the doctors tell me that days have passed since a hiker found me. I ask about my date and the stranger, but they deny having found anything that night. I fall in and out of sleep, waiting for my family to arrive. My father finally enters the room, and I begin to cry, not from relief, but at the sight of his now gray eyes shining in his head. You're just like her, he whispers. So, are you scared?
I'm concerned.
So I guess this creature became the dad now?
But Papa have gray eyes now.
But Papa does have great, it's because it's
Slim Jim is Papa now.
It's just that there was a demon inhabiting him and now he just jumped.
Slim
to a
Jim
new
demon now
person.
go to Papa, Papa have gray eyes. Dr. Steve Bergara comes home and you go, Papa, Papa, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
And he goes,
That's exactly how
and
I
looks
rate
at
my
you
dad.
with eyes you've never seen before.
And I'd be like, Papa, gray eyes, why?
Right?
Why didn't he just possess the boyfriend and then he could have what he wants? I guess actually the bigger question is, who is this her that broke the devil's heart or the demon's heart?
I guess just a sexy lady.
All right, well, that story was written by Abigail Bergstrasser. Almost my name there for a second.
Basically the same, yeah.
Basically the same name. Well, thank you, Abigail, for the story, and I guess we'll see you all next week.
Fuck yeah. I mean, but next week we'll be watching you tell Shane why you cried. Oh, lordy. I really enjoyed that, though. That was really good. I did not think that I would be as scared of a stranger in the crowd as what I was. So, my thing is, he didn't look like the boyfriend before. Even whenever he was on the Ferris wheel, he did not look like the boyfriend. He didn't look like the boyfriend until she knew the boyfriend was dead. Like, did she just have a psychotic break and think this was happening and kill the boyfriend herself? Or was there an actual stranger? I really enjoyed that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that as much as I did. If you did, please go down there, leave a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. While you're down there, if you want, go on over and slap that subscribe button, become part of the B5 Nation. We do some crazy stuff here. And if you want to know when that crazy stuff happens, ding that bell and turn on all notifications. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Damn, that was fucked.